What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Free channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be going through my wealth building process, my simple path to wealth, and why I created this plan or why I came up with this plan. And if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you for clicking on the video, and I hope you stay tuned till the end of the video. Even if you're not new and you've watched my videos before, hey, please, again, stay tuned till the end, like the video, sub to the channel. I'm going to get right into why I'm making this video and the point, okay? So I'm making it because I got a comment on a few videos ago. I got a comment from a guy saying that, remember, you will never get rich driving a truck. And I'm going to respond to that comment, not because I want to single that person out, but because I know a lot of people believe that, not only with trucking, but they believe that in general in the United States, that it's impossible to build wealth if you're starting from nothing. Well, let me tell you, most millionaires in America are first generation rich, meaning they inherited nothing, okay? They have $1 million net worth. Their assets minus their liabilities equals $1 million or more net worth, okay? That is what they're worth. They started from nothing. 90% of the millionaires are first generation rich in this country. There are over like 11 million millionaires, and there might even be more now, but there's over like 11 million millionaires, and 90% of them did not inherit money. Inheritance did not create their wealth. And so what does that tell me as an average everyday Joe truck driver? That means that, hey, there must be a way that I can do it. Now, I figured that out before I even got into trucking. I figured that out. I knew it was possible. Why? Because I looked at all the people that have done it. I've met multiple millionaires in my life, and I've met some that are super wealthy. I've met some that are moderately wealthy, but either way, they all have great lives, and I wanted to have a great life. And I knew because they did it, I could do it, because they're not any smarter than me. They're not any like harder workers than me. They're none of that. I know I can do it. And by the way, I met them in all different races, all different sexes. So before you say, oh, it's only for one group of people, that's bullcrap. Anybody can do it, regardless of your background. It doesn't matter, okay? And so, that being said, before I got into trucking, I had a goal. Why did I choose trucking as my career, okay? First and foremost, I had to pick a career before I was going to create financial freedom, before I was going to build wealth, get rich in trucking. I needed a career to where I could earn very good money. And what is very good money? I needed to earn substantially more money than my living expenses. Why? So that I could take that money, take that excess cash, and put it into assets that pay me passive income and go up in value over time. I choose to invest in broadly diversified index funds, low-cost, broadly diversified index funds. I invest 75% of my money in the total U.S. stock market, and I invest 25% of my money in total international stock market, all low-cost index funds. That's what I buy. 75, 25. That is what I do. I own literally 2 index funds, and that is what I've been buying consistently over the last 4.5 years since I got into trucking. But again, I chose trucking because I knew in this business that the sky was the limit. The sky's the limit in trucking. It is for income. This is a cash cow. As a company driver, after you get a year of experience, and if you get all your endorsements, I didn't get all my endorsements and I've still managed to do this, but if you do get all your endorsements, there's more opportunities open to you as far as doing what I'm talking about. But I chose this as a long-term career. Why? Because I knew I didn't have to go to school for 4 years to start making good money. I knew that I didn't have to go to school for 2 years to start making good money. I knew that, hey, if I go get my CDL and I get trained and learn how to do this job, I can make $60,000 to $70,000 my first year. Then the next year I can make 6 figures. That's exactly what I did. I knew I could do that because I hustle. I'm willing to work, okay? And so I chose trucking, and while I was driving that truck as a company driver, I was learning about things like finances, personal finance, economics, investing in stocks, real estate, business. I was educating myself. I've taken multiple courses on business, accounting, finance, economics. I've taken a lot of courses while on the road, online, while I've been doing this over the last 4.5 years, okay? I'm self-taught in a lot of these areas. But again, I suggest everybody do that. While you're driving this truck, learn about different subjects, especially learn about subjects that will pay you, that will benefit your life in the long run. That's a side note, okay? But before I got in, look, I needed a career, I needed an income, I needed a career path where there was no limit to what I could make. That is trucking. Then after that, I knew, hey, I need to get and stay out of debt. Well, before I got into trucking, I was already out of debt. Now, I did not have a 6-month emergency fund. I did not. So I had to build a 6-month emergency fund after I got into trucking, got trained, started, driving on my own, making my own money. I started building a 6-month emergency fund. That took a little while to do. After I accomplished that, that is where I opened up an investment account and I started investing 50% or more of my money. Anytime I get a check, I divide that check in half or divide it by 2, and I put half of that money, I transfer it into my investment account, and it goes away forever. I put it in there, out of sight, out of mind. I pay myself first. That is what I do. I suggest once you're out of debt, pay yourself first. Put that money into a separate account, not tied to your savings account, not tied to your checkings account, into a different account, and that is where you will invest your money if you want to invest in stocks, okay? Or you want to invest, period. I suggest if you want to open a savings account to save for real estate or save to buy a truck, I would put that in a separate account that is not attached to your checking account, to your debit card. That's what I do. That's why I'm telling you to do it, okay? And so that way, once it's gone, you aren't tempted to spend it. But anyway, I've done that consistently, and I've been buying index funds, like I said, in that separate account, and I've done that consistently over the last 4.5 years since I started trucking. That has resulted in a 6-month emergency fund and a multiple 6-figure net worth inside that account in the stock market. That is what I've done in 4.5 years. Do I believe anybody can do this? Yes, because it's super simple. All you got to do is get into a career where you can make good money, okay, to where you can save a lot of money, save an emergency fund, and then learn about investing in stocks, investing in real estate, whatever you want to do, and focus on doing that and stick with that and build that up really big, okay? That's what I did. It's very simple. Why am I doing that? Because my goal is by the time I'm 35, I want to be financially free. Okay, I want to be able to live off or not need a job. Really, I don't want to retire early, but I want to not be dependent on a job for my income. I want to be able to live off of my portfolio. Okay, and that was my goal before I got into trucking at 24 and by 35, like I said. And so I have my goal, my nest egg target. I need to get my portfolio to a certain number so that I can reach financial freedom. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. How do you know that you can be, or that you're financially free? You have to figure out, hey, how much money would I need to make passively? Okay, how much money would I need to make to pay all of my bills and support my lifestyle? Okay, that's going on a vacation every year. That's going out to eat. That's doing all the different things you want to do. Whatever that income target is, you got to figure that out, okay, for the month, and then multiply it by 12. That'll give you your yearly number, and then you need to divide that yearly number by the withdrawal rate you're going to have once you reach that target, okay? Say I need to make $100,000 a year from my portfolio. I need to withdraw $100,000 a year to support my family, to support my lifestyle from my portfolio. Well, I would divide that number. My number is 3% withdrawal rate. I would divide that number by 3%, and that'll give me my overall nest egg target. that's what it'll do. So I don't know what the exact number is in this example. It's just an example. That's not my exact target, but it's an example, okay? Say you needed 100 grand, divide it by whatever withdrawal rate you want to use. You could use 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever, and that'll give you your ultimate net worth target, your ultimate target you need to hit to be able to retire, okay? So I created that target before I got into trucking, and I had to figure out, hey, how much money would I need to save at X percentage rate of return over the next 11 years to reach that target? I did a very conservative rate of return. The S&P 500, which is a broad-based index fund. Now, I invest in a little bit broader index fund than that. I buy more stocks than just the top 500 companies, but that is the broadest of the major indexes in the United States. Okay, so you have the NASDAQ, you have the Dow Jones, and you have the S&P. The S&P is the broadest of the three major indexes. Okay, the S&P 500 pretty much represents the whole U.S. stock market. Okay, and so that has averaged about 10% rate of return historically since its inception. Okay, well, what I did for my financial freedom target is I actually used a much more conservative rate of return. I used about a 6% rate of return. Okay, and by doing that, I've actually saved, it makes me have to save even more, right, to reach that target. And what has ended up happening over the last 4.5 years is I'm actually further ahead in the process than I would have been if I expected a 10% rate of return. Okay, so be very conservative with your investments. Be very conservative. I suggest really cutting that historical average almost in half as to what to expect to get over the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Now, that being said, I want to be very clear. My goal is to be financially free by 35, okay? By 35, and I will reach that target, God willing, you know, as long as I'm able to work, as long as I'm healthy, and I'm allowed to stay alive. But I'm not going to think that way. As long as I'm able to keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to definitely reach that goal by 35. I'll actually reach that goal before 35. But here's the thing. I'm never going to sell my assets. I'm never going to sell my index funds, ever. I may sell some of them to start a business outside of, you know, outside of the stock market, invest in other things and diversify out of the market. I will do that as my net worth gets way higher than it is now. I'm being very patient with starting my own business, and that is because I have a net worth target before I actually want to take some of my money out and put it into that business, okay? But that's a story for another video. The point of this video, really, the point is you can build wealth in trucking. I will become a millionaire in trucking. I will, 100%, and I love it that you guys are getting to watch that journey. I love that, because it is possible. Are 99% of people watching this going to do what I'm talking about? No. Why? Because it's such a simple plan, but it's very hard to do. It's very hard to do. But if I can affect that 1%, and you can just create a simple plan like I'm talking about, you can build wealth with trucking, you can build wealth as a nurse, you can build wealth with any field out there, any regular job, any regular business. You know, you don't have to start a high-flying tech company, none of that. You can build wealth, you can become a millionaire, and as your savings increases, you actually have more options to invest in other things such as real estate, starting businesses outside of trucking, outside of the stock market, or starting a big business in trucking, whatever you want to do. But the point is before you get into trucking, have a goal, get out of debt, okay? Have a goal with your career, what you want to do in trucking to make your money. Get out of debt, stay out of debt, save your money, have an emergency fund, and then learn how to invest in whatever interests you. And stick to whatever interests you, stick to whatever you know and understand, and invest in that until you become wealthy. And don't stop doing that until you actually reach your goal. Never ever give up on your goal, never ever quit. It's going to be very boring. I also got another comment, but this was a good comment. This guy was like, hey man, I save and invest just like you, but it's tough. Yeah, it is tough. Why is it tough? Because it's discipline. Okay, but you have to make it automatic. You have to make it to where you don't even think about it. That's how you got to do it. That is the key to success in anything. You just do it. You never stop. Once you start, you never stop. That's the key. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to continue to do. It's the same with YouTube. When I first started YouTube, I didn't do it consistently. But when I started doing it consistently, it started to take off. And I just never stopped. Before I started doing YouTube consistently, which was about a year and a half ago, it's the same thing with investing. It's the same thing with saving. It's the same thing with anything in life. Getting in shape, whatever. You have to start somewhere, and then you have to never stop and get better and better at it over time, and get smarter and smarter over time, and never stop, never stop. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. But what I did with YouTube, it was like, okay, I made a few videos here and there a couple of years ago, but I didn't start really investing my time heavily into making YouTube videos. Well, I learned by listening to other YouTubers that are much bigger than me, how to grow a channel was to post consistently. You have to post very consistently. It could be 1 time a week, 2 times a week, whatever, but that's how you grow. And you got to continue to do it, and you can't stop. So what I did was like, okay, what I'm going to do is for the next year, I'm going to post 3 times a week, non-stop for an entire year. And that's what I did. And my channel has grown tremendously over the last year and a half since I started that. And it's been amazing. And it's the same thing with investing. Whenever I started investing, you know, it started out small. It felt like, man, this is taking forever. After year 1, you know, I saved probably like 40 grand, 45 grand. After year 2, okay, I'm about 80 grand. And then after year 3, you know, my money's starting to really make some money. And after year 4.5, man, now I'm really doing something here. Now I've got a multiple 6-figure net worth because my income went up. And as my income went up, I didn't change the percentage. I actually started investing more money. And again, you start getting excited. Once you get started and you start seeing the real effects of your consistency and your hard work, man, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's, you know, it's stimulating, honestly. So anyway, that's my video for today. I'm kind of rambling on, but I just want to share a different point of view on that. I do believe you can build wealth in trucking. I do believe that. And it's going to take time. It's going to take at least 10, 15, 20 years. But over the long run, you can 100% build wealth in trucking and become very successful financially in trucking. And I'm never going to change my mind on that. So if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you for staying this far into the video. If you're somebody that's already subscribed, I appreciate you as well. I hope you liked the video, sub to the channel, and stay tuned for more that I will be posting in the future. God bless and peace out.